to do. Okay. Well, we need one more thing. I need one more thing here. What happened to my I gotta get a pen. We'll start. One sec. I thought I had it.
Well, yeah, you can. Do you know how awkward it is to turn around with these? The thing you gotta do, turn around and kind of like doesn't work too well.
I printed out one for you if you'd like, or where'd it go? You're good. Okay, here's one for Noah.
Thank you.
Okay. Send me to my 601. We're ready to start. Give me 1 second. Could you read it for me? Thank you, Noah. Sure.
Olam chesed yibaneh Yadadai, yadadai, yadadai 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 Olam chesed yibaneh
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to you all here. Shabbos, good Shabbos. And I want to also say a Shabbat Shalom to those of you who are joining us remotely. Your presence means a lot, and we're so glad that you're part of our community this Shabbat. I'm Rabbi Ruthie, for those of you who don't know, and it's a pleasure for me to be back on the Bima, and I realized, I didn't ask you about this beforehand, wow. But when I first came to Har HaShem 13 years ago, this person was like not quite a teenager. And now Noah not only is a full-grown adult, but an incredible song leader and will be our Baal Tefillah, our service leader this evening. So he grew up at Har HaShem, and anybody here who's thinking, maybe one day could I be a service leader? If you come to Har HaShem long enough, you too can become a service leader.
It only took 24 years. Man, that was
So I'd like to invite us, as we're settling in for Shabbat, to turn to page 9 and to read responsively a kavanah to help us settle in. I don't know about you, sometimes it's hard to get here. I'm rushing, a lot going on. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we seek. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. It's an honor for me to invite up Marcel and her cousin to light the Shabbat candles as we turn to page 2.
So I'd also like to point out there's 2 different kinds of books. There's a thin one and then the thick one. If you're on the thin one, it is page 2, but follow in the brackets page 120 for that one.
Thank you. It was confusing? Wow, come on up. Here we are. Can I tell them when the last time you were here was in the synagogue or no?
When was the last time?
You lit Shabbat candles.
I've been at holiday meeting.
Okay, here you go. Well, why don't you light them? And then come over here, you guys light, and then I'll give you the blessing.
Here, Merce, I'll strike you right. You got it?
Not yet. You can light them. Yep, there you go. Beautiful. There you go. The wicks are a little tricky, huh? That one's good, I think, now. And then, yeah, great. Okay. And then what we sometimes do is we go like 1, 2, 3, and then we say the prayer. Baruch.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvos
Vitzivan.
lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
And now you kiss or give a hug to the person near you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Thank you. So, Noah, would you lead us in the Kiddush? Do we want to? Oh, yeah. Why don't we? Here you go. Does anybody have a birthday or an anniversary? Oh, birthday girl, come on up. Grab some wine. You could.
I got my official one.
Oh, yeah. Grab some wine. Does anybody have a new job? So, when's your birthday?
It was last Sunday.
Last Sunday. What's your simcha? Today. It's your birthday? Ah, come on up, grab some wine. Anybody else have a simcha? Well, we all kind of have simchas. It's a simcha, it's Shabbat. Okay. Would you like to lead us?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, ve'atzavanu,
Shabbat. I don't like you standing alone.
Be'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu,
Zikaron l'ma'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila, lemikre kodesh, zecher l'tziat mitzrayim, ki vanu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, bi'ahava u'v'ratzon, hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha'shabbat. L'chaim. And happy birthday. I want to thank you, Noah, for telling me how we have a new minhag of doing this. So, we're going to begin now our Kabbalat Shabbat service in which we welcome in the Sabbath. And we turn to page 12. 12 in the black ink. Is that right? Okay.
And page 130 in the big books.
Thank you. Wow. Okay. Lechuna Ranana, let us sing joyously to Adonai.
So this is probably going to be a new melody for like 99% of you, but it's really easy. We can all do it. So I'll sing a bit. You guys repeat after me. It goes like this. Lechuna Ranana, yai dai 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 dai. Your guys' turn.
Lechuna Ranana,
yai dai 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 dai. Naria, yai dai 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 dai. You guys. Naria, yai dai 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 dai. So the whole thing together now. Lechuna Ranana, yai dai 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 dai. Naria, yai dai 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 dai. Nekadma panav betoda betoda. Izmirot naria lo naria lo. Lechuna Ranana, yai dai 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 dai. Naria, dai 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 dai. Lechuna Ranana, yai dai 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 dai. Naria, dai 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 dai. Dai 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 dai. Dai 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 dai.
We did come and sing like you asked us to. And now we're going to welcome in the Shabbos bride as we turn to page 20 or page 138, Lecha Dodi. And together we will do verses 1, 2, 5. And when we get to verse 9, we ask that we stand as we're able and face the door as we welcome in the Shabbos bride.
Lecha Dodi,
Dodi,
Likrat Kala,
Likrat Kala,
B'nei Shabbat,
B'nei Shabbat,
Mekabela.
Kabila,
Lecha Dodi,
Lecha Dodi,
Likrat Kala,
Likrat Kala,
B'nei Shabbat,
B'nei Shabbat,
Mekabela.
Kabila,
Shamor v'zachor b'divurecha, Ishmi'anu el hamuka, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem u'tiferet v'litila, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Mekabela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Mekabela. Likrat Shabbat, Lechu v'nelcha, Ki mekor הברכה מראש מקדם לסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת קלה ימי שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה ימי שבת נקבלה תתעוררי תתעוררי כי באורץ קומי אורי 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 שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לך דודי לקראת קלה ימי שבת נקבלה 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 בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצורה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי קלה לך דודי לקראת קלה ימי שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה ימי שבת נקבלה Shalom
24.
Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Malachei HaShalom Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Malachei HaShalom
Socha dodi likrat kala Pene Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Pene Shabbat Nekabela. Please be seated. I love how we were standing and we first welcomed the Shabbos bride, and then I think it's good that we were standing when we welcomed the angels of peace, right? That was a good thing, I think. Good idea, thank you. So this Shabbat, in case you didn't know, is the Colorado Jewish Climate Action Shabbat. So we're going to incorporate some themes related to that this Shabbat, and our darshan, our sermon will be on, I'll say more in a little bit about that. But we wanted to move into the Baruch Hu, and the Baruch Hu is when we come together officially as a community. And it's important that as a community, we actually get to know one another. I know it's scary, but we really do want to get to know one another, and we also really do want to be known. So I want to invite you to turn to somebody, maybe even get up, and talk with somebody who you didn't come with. And we'd like you to ask each other after you say, like, hello and how you doing, my name is. Have you or anyone you know been affected by climate change? Have you or anyone you know been affected by climate change? And if so, how? Make sense? If so, how? So we'll have a few minutes. It's great to get to know one another. And Noah will bring us back with some music. So we'll have just about 3 or 4 minutes for this. Oh, and if you don't want to talk to anybody, lift up your book. Yeah. Great. It's all about getting comfortable.
I'm saying we should do this more often.
Well, it's kind of, I'm used to having somebody who's lower it when because I'm not going to sing. I'm going to go, do you know what I mean? And your voice is the voice, so that's why I'm taking it off. What's that?
If you want to be more.
No, I don't want to be like different dancers. I'm not chanting. I pray. So then we'll do food and then go right into Shabbat. They don't have to talk to one another. That's a good joke. Is talking. He's talking to kids. So I look at the time. We give them 2 minutes. Only about 50% are actually answering the question, and the other 50% are just schmoozing. But that's important. They get to know one another.
It's the community part. Like, praying is something for a lot of people, and it's not for others.
And Barclay is like, if you really want to be a community, then you have to know your neighbor's pains. Otherwise, it's not bullshit. Okay.
Just the regular cedar reading.
Anyway, we have 1 more minute. We'll come back. We'll give you 1 more minute. Okay, I think we're good. So we invite you to come back to your places. It's a crowded bunk. So friends, we invite you back to your seats, and the good news is we have all evening together. We have all evening together. I invite you to turn to page 28 or page 146 and ask you to please rise for the Baruch Hu.
Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Please be seated as we turn to page 34 or 152 for the Shema, and then we'll turn the page for the V'ahavta. The Shema reminds us that everything is one. And on this Colorado Jewish Climate Action Shabbat, I think it's really important that we are aware of how interconnected everything we do is to the rest of Mother Earth and Mother Nature. And I think when we say the Shema, we're reminding ourselves of that unity and that oneness. While it seems separate, it's all really one. Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta baham
בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם emet. So many of our services we sing Mi Chamocha, who is like our God. And I think the Mi Chamocha is so important because we need to be reminded over and over and over again that when we take a step forward in community, the miracles that can happen and the change that can happen will blow our minds. Mi Chamocha, page 40 or 158. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha neda b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef eleh, nora tehilot osef eleh, malchutecha ra'u vanecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam zeli anu ve'yameru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed.
So, I don't know about you, or all of you, but I feel like I really need a Sukkot of Shalom this Shabbos. And I think our planet and world needs that. The ravages of war that are going on, the fears that are arising that I've been told around this upcoming election. So let us be able and ask God to help us to lie down in peace and to rise up to life renewed and to feel God's loving presence around us. Page 42 or 160.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Ve'hamidenu shomreinu L'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Ve'hamidenu
Shomreinu L'chaim, L'chaim. Ufros aleinu Sukat Shlomecha V'taknenu Be'etza Tova Milfanecha V'hoshienu Leman Shemecha. Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim, l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha V'taknenu be'etza tova milfanecha V'hoshienu leman shemecha.
We say 3 amens because it means let it really be so. 3 is an important number in Judaism. Let it really be so. We turn now to our Amidah, which will begin on page 46, and we will do the first 3 brachot, blessings, together in Hebrew, and then we will do the 4th together in the English. I'll help you out with that. And then we'll continue silently. When Noah and I were meeting, he said, can we do the Adonai Sifatai Titach the way we did it years ago when I used to come here as a teenager? And I said, I'm sure the Kahal will be fine with that, right? Thank you. So we ask you to rise when you're ready. Not as a group, but to hear that still small voice in you that says, I'm ready to daven my prayers of my heart to the Eternal One in this community.
Sifatai tifta Yalla lai 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 ufi yakid Ufi yakid tehilatecha Yalla lai 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 Adonai Yalla lai 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 sifatai tifta Yalla lai 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 ufi yakid Ufi yakid tehilatecha Yalla lai 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 Adonai Yalla lai 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 sifatai tifta Yalla lai 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 ufi yakid yagid tehilatecha. Yalalai lai 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 Adonai. Yalalai lai lai sifatai tiftach. Yalalai lai lai ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Hasdei Ahavot V'imahot, Umevi Gula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Umagen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Vezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai Mechayei HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia Mashiv HaRuach Umarid HaGashem Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim Somech noflim verofeh cholim Umatir asurim Umekayem emunato Lishenei afar Michamocha bal gevurot Umidom elach Melech meimit u'mechaye u'matzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman ata lechayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai mechaye hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kdoshim b'chol yom yahallelu Selah Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. We turn together to the top of page 55 or 173 and read the blessing for the holiness of this special day, our Sabbath. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. I invite you to continue silently with the words of the liturgy in the Hebrew on the right, on the English on the left, or perhaps the still small voice within your own heart and soul. And we'll have a few minutes for this. When you're ready, please be seated, but take your time. So
Shalom Rav.
this is going to be another new one for everyone. Also easy. I know everyone can get it too. Same thing as last time, I'll sing a bit, and you guys just sing it back to me. Shalom Rav, HaYisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. You guys. Shalom Rav, HaYisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Once more. Shalom Rav, HaYisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Good. So now the verses go like this. They repeat. The words are a little different, but it goes like this. Ki atahu melech adon. You guys.
Ki atahu melech adon.
Once more. Ki atahu melech adon. Lechol HaShalom. Hold me. Ki atahu melech adon. Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav, HaYisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, HaYisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael. Bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav, HaYisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, HaYisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, HaYisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, HaYisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam.
Thank you. It's beautiful. Why don't you want to have a seat? You know, that was a melody that one of Noah's friends from Nifty wrote. And for those of you who have Spotify, it's on her Spotify playlist. SoundCloud, I'm old-fashioned. So I don't have any of that stuff. I am so excited and honored to invite up two of our congregants to give the drash this evening. They're no strangers to us, but allow me to brag a little bit about them, if that's okay. Yonatan Malin, who is the lead Jewish Action Team member of the Climate Citizens Lobby, and Diana Lane, who has a PhD in ecology and has been working for over 30 years in the environmental profession. Many of us know them exclusively as the parents of Sarah and Aviva, but they actually have lives outside of that. And so I want to invite them up in gratitude as they give tonight's sermon.
Thank you, Rabbi Ruthie. So Shabbat Shalom. As Rabbi Ruthie said, I'm Diana.
And I'm Yonatan.
And you probably know us as the parents of Sarah. That was already in my talk. So the parsha this week is Noah, or Noach in Hebrew. And Noah is one of those crossover characters from the Torah, someone who has made it into popular culture, memes, infant bedding, which if you think about it is really weird. But to briefly review, the quick review of the parsha, God saw the wickedness on earth and regrets creating humans. Yeah, thank you. Okay. But then saves Noah and his family because Noah was righteous in his generation. God instructs Noah to build an ark, save 2 of every species, and then the flood comes for 40 days and 40 nights, wiping out the world, until eventually the floodwaters subside, the dove returns with an olive leaf, and Noah and his family and all the animals repopulate the world. After the flood, the rainbow symbolizes God's promise to never again destroy the earth and its inhabitants. And then more things happen at the end of the parsha that Yonatan will talk about. So as Rabbi Ruthie did, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the elephant and the donkey in the room. So I know many of us have a high degree of anxiety around the upcoming election on Tuesday. And to quote Rabbi Green, it's not so easy living in our society at this moment. And I know many people here have been deeply engaged in the work of democracy, and I certainly encourage everyone to vote and make their voice heard if they are eligible to do so. So this Shabbat, as Rabbi Ruthie said, Har HaShem is joining congregations around Colorado in marking Climate Awareness Shabbat, an opportunity to reflect on how we can respond to the climate crisis. Climate Awareness Shabbat is being organized by Colorado Jewish Climate Action, or CJCA, a nonprofit devoted to helping Colorado Jews and Colorado Jewish organizations embrace climate action and climate justice. I've had the privilege of volunteering with CJCA together with a number of congregants from Har HaShem, I see you out there, since 2021, when we organized a rally outside, masked, distanced, to encourage our senators to support the Build Back Better bill. It feels like an eternity ago. And if you want to help organize or volunteer or attend our second climate summit on February 2nd in Denver, please talk to me after services. So when thinking about what to say tonight, I wanted to start by thinking about the ark itself. An ark isn't a boat. An ark has no means of propulsion, no sail or oars. An ark has no means for steering. So imagining how it must have been for Noah and his family and the animals. So the ark is being buffeted about by forces beyond their control, and they would have felt powerless to affect their fate, and probably a little nauseous. And I want to acknowledge that this is how life can feel right now, in many dimensions. So as we had a chance to share with each other a few moments ago, so many of us have been personally affected by climate change to different degrees, and we all share the horror of the latest crises. The 2013 flood that inflicted so much damage on Har HaShem and on many of our homes, the Marshall Fire and the ongoing stress and expense of recovery and rebuilding, the flooding from Hurricane Helene in North Carolina and beyond, the recent flash floods just this week in Valencia, Spain, and the climate changes that are not crises, but are still disorienting. A September to October that was the hottest ever experienced in the Boulder-Denver area since temperature records have been kept. Rabbi Shoshana Meira Friedman points out that the ancient rabbis posed a question. How can we call Noah a righteous person, a tzaddik, when he did nothing to try and prevent the flood? There's an answer from Rabbi Levi Yitzchak of Berditchev, an 18th century Hasidic master. He says, there's a kind of tzaddik who serves God, but is so lowly in their own eyes that they think to themselves, who am I to pray for God to reverse the bad decree? And therefore, they don't pray. And I'll throw in, and they don't act. So unlike Abraham, who will argue with God to try to save the inhabitants of Sodom and Gomorrah in an upcoming parsha, Noah accepts God's offer of an ark, keeping himself and his family safe, but isolating them from the world and the destruction. And one of the things that I love about Torah is how the emotions and the dilemmas in the Torah can illuminate so many aspects of our lives today. We can feel powerless and buffeted about by the forces of giant fossil fuel companies and the decisions of governments, wondering how we can possibly make a difference. Sometimes we feel small, and we just want to try to protect ourselves and our families. And then we read about the covenant of the rainbow, in which God promises not to destroy the earth, and we feel some hope. And honestly, one of the things that I love about rainbows is how they create instant community. It's impossible to see a rainbow and not say to the person next to you, whether you know them or not, look, it's a rainbow, and enjoy that communal moment of awe and beauty together. And seeing a rainbow reminds us that we are partners with God in this sacred obligation of protecting our home, planet Earth, the beautiful little blue dot in the midst of the cosmos.
Thank you, Rabbi Ruthie. Thank you, Diana. There's a part of the story. There's a part of the story of Noah that I didn't remember before coming back to it. After the flood, after Noah sends out a dove, and the dove comes back with an olive leaf, after the rainbow, after Noah and his family and all the creatures find dry land and come out of the ark, after all of this, Noah plants a vineyard, and then he drinks the wine and gets drunk. Vayasht min hayayin vayishkar. Noah has witnessed vast destruction of the entire world. He survives, but he is traumatized, and he seeks escape. Who wouldn't? Noah uncovers himself in his tent. His grandson Ham, son of Canaan, sees his nakedness, and Noah is ashamed. Trauma often leads to shame, and shame leads people to inflict further trauma. Noah then declares, quote, "Cursed be Canaan, the lowest of slaves shall he be to his brothers." It's not a good scene. We've been through a lot, and we're going through a lot right now as we think of the stress of the election, as we've been talking about, and the fact that the Yankees just blew the World Series. Actually, maybe that's not so bad.
I'm from LA.
So how do we rebuild? How do we allow ourselves moments of escape, which are necessary, but come back and engage again, even if it's scary? How do we continue to work on a problem like climate change that seems so bleak and overwhelming? What can we do? Will it make a difference? I think we all have different parts of ourselves. For me, one part of myself feels discouraged. I sometimes blame myself. I think I haven't done enough. I blame others. I feel hopeless and sad. Sometimes I make other people feel bad too. And if I've made you feel bad, forgive me. But another part of me sees new and exciting things happening, a new world being built, a world in which we don't have to burn stuff to live our lives, a world in which our collective actions do not intensify hurricanes and wildfires or cause heat deaths. I feel excited to be part of building this new world. When I was a kid, my parents had friends who were back to the land hippies. They bought a cheap plot of land in upstate New York, built a log cabin from trees that they cut down themselves on their land. They filled the gaps between the logs with peat moss that they picked from the forest. And I helped build that log cabin. I was 6 years old, and they gave me a draw knife, which has 2 handles, and I used it to peel the bark off the logs. And then I would go and stay overnight in their log cabin and help chop wood and grind flour and weed the garden where they grew most of their food. It was exciting and new and fun. Addressing climate change can be that, exciting, new, and fun. Electric cars are awesome. They're fun to drive, cheaper to run, and there are no oil changes. electric heat pumps can cool as well as heat your home at lower cost. There are large federal, state, and county rebates and tax incentives to help folks, and even programs to pay 100% of home energy upgrades for those in lower income brackets. Just last month, England, where the Industrial Revolution began, shut down its last coal power plant. And California recently celebrated 100 days of getting 100% of its electricity from renewable energy for at least a portion of each day. It's doable. It is in our hands. The website Heat Map News has a section on decarbonizing your life. They focus not on marginal emissions, the number of tons that each of us personally are responsible for. Instead, they focus on high leverage actions, the choices that can drive change through the energy system. Those actions include switching to an electric vehicle, replacing gas or oil furnaces with electric heat pumps. If you haven't heard of those before, ask us after the service. Putting on solar panels and more. As we adopt these technologies, they become mainstream at the center of everyday life. So we're almost done, but I wanted to point out to you that there's this song sheet, which hopefully you have. Does everyone have a copy of the song sheet with Olam Chesed Yibaneh? And on the back of the sheet, there's some more information. So I'm going to give you a quick kind of overview of this. So Dan and I put together this around the theme of the song Olam Chesed Yibaneh, which is the song that we sang at the very beginning and we'll sing again at the end of the service. And Olam Chesed Yibaneh, in the song, it translates as, I will build this world from love. So we have a section in the middle that says, I will build this world from love, resources to decarbonize your life. And then we have, if we build this world from love, and that has a list of Jewish climate organizations you can join. The box in the middle of the handout is a save the date for the Colorado Jewish Climate Summit that Diana was talking about, and that's in February. Later, after services or after Shabbat, you can use the QR code here to get a digital copy of the handout with all the links. We do not engage in climate action because we feel bad or guilty, but out of love. Love for the world that we live in, love for our children and future generations, love for our Har HaShem community that has been directly impacted by wildfire and smoke and flooding, and love for everyone who can lead a healthier, safer life as emissions come down and the world heals. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, we will build this world from love. Thank you very much.
May it be so.
Thank you so much. Why am I talking into that?
Where did I go?
It's under your colleague.
Oh. Thank you so much, and thank you for continually all the work you're doing on this to help us move in this direction with love. We're going to, as we think about planet Earth, which needs healing, we also think about those who are in our lives who are in need of healing. We have many of our beloved congregants and their community and loved ones on the sheets, but if there's other people for whom you are praying for or would like us to pray for their healing, I ask you to share their name and, if you like, their relationship with you. Maybe we'll start here. Any? Your best friend. Your friend. Your cousin. The first rabbi from Har HaShem. Your siblings in Venezuela. And Rabbi Bronstein. Alyssa, Frank, Martin, and Daisy. Daisy Saragosi, our beloved congregant. We turn now to page 254 for Misha Beirach.
in the big books, it's page, 371, maybe? Yes? Okay. Thanks, Father.
$253, $371.
Misheberach avotenu mekor abracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Our thoughts turn to our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this time in seasons past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. We are observing the Shloshim, and please forgive me in advance if I mispronounce your loved one's last name. Mark Kralj, the father of Joel Kralj. Jessica Lanigan, the sister of Emily Lanigan. Nicholas Leilas, the father of Christina Leilas Putterman. Gerald Sloat, the husband of Gal Sloat. The funeral will be here on Tuesday at 11 a.m. And we are observing the yurtzites of Susan Balin Peterson, the sister of Marianne Balin. Walter Blackie, the father of Kathleen Salzberg. Dorothy Boardman, the sister of Barbara Zabel. Andrew Mark Brown, the brother of Hillary Brown. Rita Farb, the mother of Alan Farb. Stephen Friedman, the father of Allison Friedman. Julius Gallup, the father of Nita Khan. Lily Goldman, the aunt of Jane Zirkin. Harold Gordon, the great-uncle of Gary Margolis. Mary Eva Graham, the mother of Elizabeth Friedman. Elliot Jacobson, the father of Steve Jacobson. Morris Mandelbaum Jr., the grandfather of Katherine Johnson. Kurt Lehman, the father of Carolyn Lehman. Jerry Lerner, the father of Julie Grayson. Samuel Levy, the grandfather of Seth Levy. Irving William Levine, the father of Deborah Brett. Jonathan Levy, the cousin of Holly Berman. Miles Portman, the father of Natalie Portman Marsh. And on the memorial plaques, Robert Silva, the father of Bobby Goldstein. Josephine Speck, the loved one of Amber Shea. Emmanuel Spiro, the grandfather of Jennifer Goldman. the grandfather of Amy Dakanikis, the grandfather of Lori Welty, Jeff Storm, the brother of Jill Oliver, Floyd Orshel, the uncle of Lowell Jackson, Joseph Volk, the father of Alec Volk, Morris Weiss, the father of Lori Bernstein, and Boris Yelovich, the uncle of Lily Zalewski. Are there others for whom we have not mentioned that you would like to rise and share their name in the community? Your mom, Kathy Titleman. I would ask that we all rise and turn to page 294 for the mourner's Kaddish. Or 598. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah Be'alma Divra Chirute v'yamlich Malchute B'chaye Chon uv'yomei Chon uv'chaye Dekol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala uv'izman Kari v'imru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam Almei Almaya Yit barach v'yish tabach v'yit pa'ar v'yit romam v'yit naseh v'yit hadar v'yit haleh v'yit halal shmei dekudasha b'rechu le'ela minko bechata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata damiran be'alma v'imru amen yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael V'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, amen. Please be seated. I did want to add, I saw some folks definitely know Jerry Sloat, and there are still spots available for anyone who might be interested in being part of the Shmira team. There will be Shmira going on, and if you don't know what that means, come see me, and if you do know what that means and you are available, please come see me. So, announcements. It's Shabbat, so we have a lot of things going on. Tomorrow morning, there'll be a Shabbat morning service in here, a contemplative-esque service, followed by our monthly potluck luncheon for the contemplative Shabbat that I have to tell you has been so wonderfully facilitated by our own Bea Pestana Osuna and Alyssa Greenberg. So we thank you for all the work you do to coordinate that. There'll be Torah study in the morning as well. And there are some additional programs mentioned in your booklet. We will not be doing this Aleinu. It's about the environmental Shabbat, but please read it if you like. Instead, in the interest of time and timeliness, we are going to close with Olam Chesed Yibaneh, which can be found, as Diana and Yonatan mentioned, on the back of your sheets. We can build this world and improve this world and make it exist into generations with our love and with our avodah, our service and our prayers. Olam Chesed Yibaneh.
Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai, Yadadai, Yadadai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai, Yadadai, Yadadai. Olam chesed yibana. Olam chesed yibana. I will build this world from love. And you must build this world from love. And if we build this world from love, then God will build this world from love. Olam chesed yibaneh.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Please join us for a little motzi and schmoozing. Shabbat Shalom.
I would like to, but I have some talking to my